Let's go! Sometime, bottom feeders, rise to the top. And I'm afraid to tell you, today we are gonna be the bottom feeders because we are gonna face a very tough matchup. We are gonna play the 5-land spy and we are gonna face mono blue Fae. Can we rise to the top? Let's find out. But again, what is this channel? I am GiorgioCombo and here I will show my preparation to Pauper tournaments. My first video was in Italian, but since a lot of you asked for English, here I am. So here you will not just find gameplay, but also meta-analysis, grudge matches and ramblings about collected data, and very deep explanation about card choices and sideboard mappings. Because to do well in a tournament, you need to have luck, but also to be prepared. There will be a lot of losing here, because we will put ourselves to the stress test to see if things work out. But don't worry, because if you wanna win, first you have to lose and learn. We are all bottom feeders trying to rise to the top. In the description down below you will find the sheets that I use to collect my data and to map my sideboards. Feel free to use them if you like. Also, you might have noticed that in the opening titles there are some images by Mezzocielo&Friends who kindly sponsors my channel. You can go to their website and use my affiliate code GiorgioCombo with just capital letters for a 5% discount. They have the cooler tokens and they do a lot for the Pauper community. When we left in the previous video, we beat 2 burn decks, Madness and Mono Red, and we lost to another one, but that was just because I mulliganed to 3 and not finding the spy in the other game. And we beat Mono Blue Terror with a bit of luck, I think, and we lost to Mardu Gates, mostly because of the experimental list, which didn't have early frost, and of course, being on Magic Online means not having rust. So I think that the video somewhat proved that the deck is good versus the metagame, but as we all know, it's not very good versus Mono Blue Terror and Fae. Today we're gonna see if there's a way to improve some of those matchups. And of course we could go out of our way to try to improve those matchups. For example, we could cut Island for Mountain and use Pyroblast and maybe even Riding Chrysalis, because those decks are soft to those cards. But we saw in the video that Dispel and Frost are important in many matchups. So I don't think that's good, but because at that point you end up with a fine-ish deck versus blue decks and a fine-ish deck versus the metagame. And I don't think that's a recipe for success. But before we start, we are gonna focus to decide what we're gonna try. And to do that, I think we need to understand the numbers behind the deck. So this main deck, I think, is the best game 1 configuration, but we have 2 flex slots. Malevolent Rumble, which is good game 1 because you just need to go fast, but it's a fine cut because it's not crucial for the deck to function, and it's less good post sideboard because it mills cards and it can be a liability against Graveyard Date. So in order to make some room, we could try to play without Malevolent Rumble, even though Malevolent Rumble makes the sideboard mapping a little smoother. But we need to make some room to try to fight the Blue Menace. So we are gonna play with 4 Masked Vandal and 4 Duresses main deck. Okay, so the deck is 29 lands, 12 spies, 5 cards that kills once you mill your deck, and then we have 14 cards which are the resiliency cards. When I say resiliency, I mean cards to beat interaction. As you might know, Conjurer's Bubble with Songs of the Damned and Crawl from the Cellar is needed to beat. As you might know, Conjurer's Bubble with Songs of the Damned and Crawl from the Cellar are needed to beat removal spells, because if you mill your deck, use the bubble to get the songs back, you cast it, you go to like 30 mana and crawl the giant and you cast the giant, then the removal spells does nothing. And also is a way to beat life gain, because at that point you have the resources to dread return for another giant, and usually that's enough. And Masked Vandal, it's there to beat Graveyard Date, of course, and it's also a way to have more creatures in the deck and to slow down some decks, for example Mono Red, and Duress is a way to beat Trap and Charm, Counterspell, and whatever. Okay, so now let's see what we have in the sideboard. We have islands, one island and blue cards, which are needed to be Counterspell and other stuff. So let's go to the sideboard. We have one island and the blue cards, which are needed to beat Counterspell, but also Trave and Charm, because having just one Dispel is very, very important against Trave and Charm, because at that point, every Conjurer's Bubble, it's a Dispel. It's kinda the same as Rust. To do that, you need the island, and since we already want the 6th land, because some decks try to interact with us and we need more mana, and also there is Wildfire in the metagame, having the 6th land is good, and we play the island because it's double duty. It's also a way to splash a color. And we have Flaring Pain and Jack-O-Lantern, which are needed to beat Prismatic Strands, and we have 3 copies of Natural State. But don't let yourself get fooled. We are playing 2 Natural State, and the third one should be a Rust, which is not on Magic Online, sadly. As you might have noticed, we have 19 cards in the sideboard, and that's not legal, of course. That's because we are gonna decide which configuration we are gonna try. So, one configuration is the safer one. So we play the 3rd Early Frost and 3 Snuffouts. This is the best one against the field, because Early Frost is good versus blue deck, but also versus decks which has Trap and Charm as well as Relic of Regentus, because if you tap them down, then with 1 card you beat both. And Snuff Out is good versus opposing combo decks, which usually has creatures, Pilipala, Waltz combo, and Elves, stuff like that. Also, Snuff Out is fine versus Fae, because it kills the Ninja and the Stutter, and it's very good versus Mono Blue Terror, because you need time. But this sideboard configuration is less good versus Mono Blue Fae, because those cards are just fine in the matchup. We could try to cut those 4 and play for Pestilence. Pestilence should be very, very good versus Fae, because, you know, they just have 2 toughness creatures. So if you land a Pestilence and start Pestilencing for 1 or for 2 every turn, I don't think they could really win. We can gain life with foods, because we have 8 foods generator. Remember, we can cast the Generous Ant if we are post-board, because we have the island. So that should work. But at that point, you are losing some percentages points in other areas. Let's see why. So, if you play versus someone who just has Artifact Graveyard Date, then it's not that hard, because you are gonna cut the Duresses post-board, you're gonna bring your Natural States and Rust, and you have 7 answers to Graveyard Date, plus the bubbles, which can grab back the Rust. So it's like 11 answers. The same is true if they has Trap and Charm, because at that point you're gonna play Duress, you're gonna board out Masked Vandal, you're gonna bring in... you're gonna bring in Dispel and Island, and it's the same. You have 11 answers to Trap and Charm. But what happens if they have both? Well, things start to get complicated, because at that point you need to kind of split the answers. And Early Frost is very good, because it's, as I said, an answer to both. So if you do that, you can sideboard like this. You can play 1 Dispel, 1 Rust, because with 2 cards you have 5 answers to both. And you can, at that point, cut Duresses, because Early Frost is a good answer to Trade and Charm, because there's no way those decks will have 5 mana untapped. But it's also a fine way to beat Relic, because, again, what are they gonna do? Pass every turn with 4 mana up, and maybe giving me the time to find my Masked Vandal to destroy the Relic anyways? No, they cannot really do that. So, Early Frost is very good, because it's kinda answers to both. And if we cut the Early Frost, then we are gonna lose something versus those decks. Also, if we cut Snuff Out, then we are gonna have a harder time versus combo decks, of course, but also versus Affinity. Why? Well, when you look at the main deck, you see 4 Duresses, which are not very good versus Affinity. In fact, I think you should board them out. And what to bring in? Well, of course, you bring in 2 Natural States and 1 Rust. And what's the other card? Well, I think 1 Snuff Out is very good because if we have Rust, yeah, we can use Rust to beat a Nihil Spellbomb. But to do that, we need to use the 5th mana that we have in the combo turn. And that way, we are gonna die to their removal spells, especially the Kirkland Shaman. Because if we tap out, then they gonna shaman us, kill the creatures, and we cannot cast the Dread Return. But if we kill the shaman, then maybe we could use Rust, because we don't need to use Songs of the Damned anymore. And I think this is very good, because 1 Snuff Out is like 5 cards, because you can transmute for it with 4 Dimir Guards. That unlocks Rust, which is again 5 more cards, because you have 5 copies of Rust basically. So I think this is somewhat relevant. There are many ways to go about things. For example, you could cut Flaring Pain and Jack-o'-lantern, but then what? Are you really just gonna scoop to anyone who has a Prismatic Strength? I don't think that's good. And maybe you could cut some number of Gate Creepers Vine in order to play some Troll of Khazad-dûm, because Troll of Khazad-dûm is fine versus blue decks, because when you go up to 6 lands, you can outcast them. Yeah, there are a lot of things that we can try, but today we are gonna focus on 2 different strategies. So we are gonna try to see if there's one configuration that can reliably beat Mono Blue Fae. But remember, maybe that's not the answer. Maybe we should just scoop versus Mono Blue Fae and focus on other matchups. Maybe we could easily beat Mono Blue Terror with a different configuration, and then at that point we have a deck which is very good versus most of the field, and fine versus Mono Blue Terror, and bad versus Fae. Yeah, I think that could be a good deck for a Paupergeddon, for example. So the point of this video is not to 100% being good versus Fae, but to reach the better deck possible in a given metagame. Will any of these work? Let's find out. But to do that, we need a really big opponent, because that's the point in playing versus bad opponents. So to be sure I have a good one, I invited a very good Italian player, Pietro Bragioto, which has multiple Paupergeddon top 8s and infinite results in Pauper. He is very good at playing blue decks, and it's also very good at sideboarding. And since we are gonna try some crazy stuff in the sideboard, yeah, I think it's the man. Well, hi Pietro, welcome to the channel. Before we start, please introduce yourself.
Hi Giorgio, I'm Pietro Bragioto, aka Krill or Il Pegolatore on MTGO. I'm a Pauper player from 2017 and 2016, and I'm a member of Golden Peaks, your teammate, and I usually I'm doing pretty well at the Italian Pauper scene.
Yeah, pretty well, I would say very well, but let's move on. Okay, so as you know, we have one goal: to try and understand if there is one reasonable configuration that would let me have a better matchup against Fae. Because at the current state of things, Fae is hard. What do you think?
I think that Mono Blue Fairies, in particular in the past, was a gatekeeper from a deck like this in the Pauper format, because it has counterspell and pressure, but not only pressure on board, but pressure that draw card.
Yeah.
I think that Fae has a big weakness that is that not big creature, but medium-sized creature that are out of stutter range 1, 2, maybe 3 mana that can block the Race of Fairies are very, very powerful in this matchup. For example, it seems stupid, but an Arcast Spy without combo or an Arcast Dimir Ausgard can be very problematic if the Fae player can't interact with an enchantment. Maybe the two enchantments are unable to scream and bind the monster that are very, very popular right now. And also the number of that snap is going down because they cover this main weakness of fairies. So the medium creature that can block the race.
Okay, so they have a weakness, but it's hard to exploit that because now they also have answer to that. But another question, maybe we will try and maybe we will find that there's not a reasonable way to beat Fae. What do you think if I tell you, yeah, well, I have a deck which is very good into most of the metagame, and it's maybe fine versus mono blue terror, but it's very bad against mono blue Fae. Do you think it's a viable deck for a Paupergeddon?
Yes, in the same way, I think Tide is very viable because he has a terrible matchup versus fairies and a reasonable matchup against most of the field. The same thing. And also I think that the fairies, mono blue fairies, isn't a tier 1 deck right now. If your goal is to top 8 a medium or large size event, you have to fight against the expected deck at high table. And I don't expect a lot of fairies right now in this type of event, at least in real life in Italy, because the meta is very set against fairies with cards like Pyroblast and the Wrath effect, such as Breath Weapon on the side, and the popularity of deck like Jund Wildfire with a lot of Chrysalis, and also Chrysalis deck like RG Ramp. I think that this deck can succeed in top-8ing a medium or large size event, and it is in the same spot of Tide. A very consistent combo deck that has the big weakness matchup against fairies, but I think that can do very well if the meta is not very much prepared against it post-side. I think that you can set realistically your side against a specific combo deck such as Tide or Spy. And so I think that you can put your chips in this deck if you really like the type of gameplay.
Okay, so now we're gonna fight against each other, and maybe we will find out that the best thing to be doing is just to edge versus mono blue terror and not Fae, because mono blue terror is more played right now, but let's see. Okay, this hand is fine. We have a Spy, we have the lens, and we have a bubble, so we're gonna keep, of course. He is on the play, which is not great. Okay, what if mono blue Fae goes island pass? Well, it probably means that he has 4 spike, so I'm not gonna play into that. I'm gonna cycle this one end of turn. Okay. And he is gonna ninja, I guess. Yeah. We're gonna cycle, we're gonna cast the Sakura Tribelder to block the ninja. At least for a turn. Okay. Next turn we are gonna grab the second swamp and cycle the house guard, looking for a spy. Okay, so we block, we search for the swamp. Okay, so he has the third land, which is not great. It's likely that he has a counterspell in hand or a spell status sprite. There's no way to play around the counterspell. but there's a way to play around spell status sprite. Okay, so we're gonna block the ninja, unless he snap. Okay, this is fine. Yeah. And he has another land, which is not great for us. But the good news is this Masked Vandal now has a good target. We need to stall the board. We cannot rush into the combo because we are being slow. Okay, so if I go many partings and he counters, it's fine with me because then I go many partings again. So let's do that. Okay, he snaps off the sprite, which is good for us. And again. Okay. Okay, so now I wanna play my Masked Vandal and my Conjurer's Bubble. The Vandal is more important, so I'm gonna play it before the Conjurer's Bubble, or he is gonna force spike me. Yeah. Remember to always leave the Generous Ant in the graveyard, because maybe you draw the Dread Return. And, you know, yeah, I think it's fine if he casts Force Spike here. He has it and he's thinking about, oh yeah. Yeah, of course. It's fine because that would be a problem in the combo turn, so... Okay, so now we are gonna block the ninja and hope he doesn't have another one. This is not good. Okay, snap. Yeah. Okay, so we need to try to combo now because we have our blockers for the ninja and there's no point in casting another one. So I'm gonna Farsight and Ausguard. I know if I transmute before I cast the Elven Farsight, he can spell pierce us. That's true, but since the cards I'm interested in are not creatures, I need to leave them on top. So there's no point in casting Farsight and then shuffling the deck, because I don't need creatures, I need the rest basically. Okay, so it's better to do this. And grab the Spy and cast this one, and let's see what happens. Okay. Obviously, I don't need any of these two Land Searchers. I could keep the Elven Farsight on top. In that case, I'm also keeping the Gatecreeper Vine just because Farsight will draw a card at least. So, or is reveal this one, next turn draw this one, or is everything on the bottom and reveal the top. No, because even if I keep the Farsight, next turn I go Farsight and I find a Duress, I leave it on top, and next turn again I combo. It's a little bit too slow and I don't like it. So I think we need to rush things a little bit. Okay, this is not that bad because we can now cast the card and just as a blocker. Okay, I think I'm gonna block the ninja this time. Or no, because yeah, it's tough because the Vandal. Yeah, I think we have to go a little bit slower. So in my turn I'm gonna cast my Masked Vandal and gain 3 lives. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I need to block the ninja because I don't want him to draw a card, and I need to keep this card around because I need my creatures to sacrifice to the Dread Return, because next turn I'm gonna combo and I hope he doesn't have a counter. That's probably what I'm gonna do. So now I'm gonna block like this because I just need 3 creatures to combo with a spare mana to pay for a Force Spike, and that would be the Spy, the House Guard, and the cat that I will return with the food. So I don't need the Sakura Tribe Elder. Okay. Let's go. And we die. Okay, fine. So this we are gonna keep, and I count 4 lands because 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one can grab the Generous Ant back. We have 2 cyclers, we have a blocker, and we just need to find a spy, I guess. No, there's an argument to go bubble. It cannot be countered, but I don't need the bubbles to resolve so badly, so I'm gonna search for the lands. Yeah. And he scries 1 on the top and 1 to the bottom. Oh, this is an awful draw. And I'm gonna search for my 3rd land now that I can. And it will be a swamp, because now I'm gonna grab back this card. And next turn I can grab the 2nd forest. Okay, I hope he goes for the little ninja. Yeah, fine. Because we are gonna exile that with the Masked Vandal, which is a very good thing for us. Yeah, I think this is gonna happen, unless he goes island into Force Spike, because we are gonna cycle the Ant in order to enable the Masked Vandal ability. Yeah, okay, this is a spy, cool. He knows about this land, so there's no point in keeping it in hand. Okay. So, cycle the Ant. Go for the Masked Bundle. Alright. Next turn we are gonna cycle and cast a bubble. Okay, this one we are gonna block with the Masked Bundle. And he goes for the Fae again. Okay. I think he's searching for lands. He's desperate for lands. 2 on top means next time he is gonna for sure... Oh no, this is a land, okay. I think if he kept on top, one of them is at least one of them is a land. Okay, so we are gonna search for the spy, and we are gonna cast the Conjurer's Bubble. Okay. Seems like he doesn't have a way to remove the Masked Bundle. And he doesn't have another one of the ninjas. Yeah, he's thinking, so it means he has one. Okay. So, what's the plan? We could try to cast the spy just to block. If we combo out with we combo with 2 creatures out, then if the spy resolve, we can go Dread Return, and with the 5th land we can kill him again if he counters the Dread Return. There's an argument for casting this one. The better thing to do would be to cycle this one and cast this one. But what if he has a spell status sprite? In that case, he is gonna counter this one, and we are not gonna cast the Dimir Osgard. So at that point, I think we are gonna cycle this one in search for, I don't know, something. Yeah. Seems fine to me. Hope this resolves. Yeah, yes, the stutter. Okay, that's bad news. And we are gonna cycle because we have another one. I don't think it's good to shuffle this back in because... No, maybe this. Because we are gonna draw a card, and if it's not a good one, we are gonna cycle this one for another spy. And it's good to shuffle a Land Searcher back in again. Okay. So now we are gonna go for the Conjurer's Bubble and cast this one to destroy the ninja. Oh no, he has 4 spike. Oh, I forgot about 4 spike. Okay, thank God he doesn't have one. I did things in that order because I wanted to cut this one out playing around Spell Pierce, but I forgot about 4 spike. That would have been a complete disaster. Okay, so I think he's not gonna connect with the ninja because we have 2 good blockers. But if he has another one, he can grab the stutter back, and that would be a problem for us. Oh, it seems like he doesn't. Yeah, okay, we are gonna cast the spy, targeting our opponent. Okay. Yeah, that's bad news. Okay. Yeah, I think we really need the 5th land because we need to rush things. It's true that this can play around the counter spell, but he's shown us that he's gonna counter our spy. And we have a duress to clear the way for a counter. So I think we are gonna cycle this one and shuffle back the other bubble. Yeah, I think we are gonna dress. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, notably, he has 4 Fae on the board, so a snap will counter our spy. If we go for the combo, we are basically dead if he has any counter which is not a forced spike, or if he has a snap. If we go for the Sagu Wieldling, we lose bad to force spike, but if he has a counter spell or another spell status sprite, oh no, if he has a spell status sprite with eyes, and if he has a counter spell, we can try to combo next turn. Yeah, I think it's the best thing to do. Yeah. Going for a spy would have been lethal for us, so I'm glad we didn't. Okay, this one we're gonna block. Okay, this one we are also gonna block. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to 1. If he has a ninja with ice, if he has a counter spell with ice. Okay. Looks like we are gonna survive. Okay, do you have it? Let's go. Oh yeah, he has it. Well, nothing we could do. Okay. Early Frost can be good because that deck usually plays like 18 lands. It's not a guarantee that they have 4 or 5 lands by turn 5. If you combo out on turn 6, for example, probably they don't have 4 or 5 lands untapped. So you can basically win and they can do anything about that, because if they counter the Early Frost, they don't have mana up, and if they don't, well, you tap the land, so they don't have mana up either. So we are gonna put the anti-counter spell cards in and this Snuff House to gain some time. They don't usually play Relic of Progenitus or stuff like that, so I'm gonna cut the Masked Vandal. I'm gonna cut the bubbles because, as we seen in the last games, there's no point in having that if you cannot resolve a spy. And so I'm gonna side out all the bubble package. So let's try like this. And this is a fine hand. Okay, so this is the kind of hand where we have a lot of land searchers but not action spells. So it would very good to bite them into countering our land searchers. Basically, if he counters use a counter on many partings, I'm fine because I have many land searchers. So I could cycle the Generous Land to try to bait him, but at the same time it's likely we are gonna arcast the Ant at some point because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we already have 5 lands. So if we just draw another land searchers, then this one is alive and this one is not. So I'm gonna go for many partings. And I'm gonna grab the island, I guess. Yeah, the island for sure, because on next turn we are gonna go for Sakura Tribe Elder and it will probably resolve, so okay. And this is another forest, so I guess this can grab the swamp. He knows about the island and he doesn't know about the swamp, so it's very important to not show him we have another land, because maybe he will go after our land searchers, and this is very, very important because it makes the difference between winning and losing, because it's very dangerous for both of us if he goes after our land searchers, because that's a plan that if it works then we don't play the game, but if it doesn't work then he wasted all the counters on useless cards. So there's some value in baiting him, trying to baiting him. So do we wanna cycle this one? I don't think so, because next turn I wanna block and sacrifice and keep the Gate Creeper alive. I don't have much to do with another land anyway this turn, so okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's the swamp. Yeah, for sure. And now, do we want to duress or not? I don't think we are gonna duress because we wanna keep duress alive for when we are about to combo. Next turn we are gonna have 5 lands. There's some value in duressing now, because if we draw the Sagu, then we can know if the cost is clear. So maybe we can do that. It's tough. I think I'm not gonna do that because this game is probably gonna go very long and I don't wanna waste a duress. Okay. No land is very good for us. Okay. Oh, so he has a land. Okay. Yeah. If we duressed last turn, maybe we could have taken this card. But at the same time, duressing after the cantripping and the drawing happens is better because you know the content of your opponent's hand. So, it's tough. I don't want to show him my hand. And I'm gonna land grant before I duress. And I'm gonna do that because I can pay for Spell Pierce even after I cast my land grant. Okay. So this card is useless. And now for sure I'm gonna duress because next turn I'm gonna cast my Ant. Wow. Okay, so the creature plan is not gonna work against all those cards. I guess So we are gonna take the fourth spike. Yeah, there's no point in taking one of the other ones. And let's pass the turn. I think I'm gonna gain 3 life. So this was the draw. Okay. It's probably searching for counters and lands to bottom. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna let him draw. No way. Yeah, I don't have much of a choice, I guess. And I'm gonna gain 3 life right now. Okay, this one is useless once again, and so everything we could do is cast this Generous End. That's not gonna do anything, but that's not... I don't have any other move. Funnily enough, this is a game we could win with a spy. Yeah. So bind the monster no more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, we need a spy. And we will win. So he has a stutter, but no, he is not gonna stutter my duress. No way. Because he doesn't know we don't have a spy in hand. The land. Bind, enable. I think bind the monster is the strongest one. And yeah, go for it, I guess. Make a food just to gain some life. Okay, so okay, that was the draw. We have to eye roll, so I think the plan is to tap 3 lands, untap and draw a spy and combo out. Because if we don't do that, then he will have 5 lands untapped and Early Frost will not do anything. So we basically have 1 out of 11 chances to win this game because we have 4 spies. Let's go. Okay. And that's not a spy. Okay, so we lost. Okay, this is fine because we have lands, we have the spy, so it's an easy keep. We are gonna resolve this one because Generous Hand cannot be countered. Okay, so he's tapped out, so we are gonna go for Sakura Tribe Elder. Basically, we have 5 lands. Okay, let's go. Yeah, okay. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna cycle because I wanna block the ninja with the Sakura Tribe Elder to deny a draw, and on my turn I'm gonna cast this one, grab the swamp number 2, I guess, cast this one to kinda trade the ninja, and on my next turn I'm gonna block and cycle. because I don't think that's really something nice we can do with the fourth mana on the next turn. Okay, this is cool. I'm not gonna attack because, as I said, I wanna block and keep this one around for later. Okay. Okay, fine. And he scries. One top, one bottom. I'm not sure if he's gonna attack or not. Yeah, now I'm gonna use this one. I think I'm gonna take the island because I have Ant for the forest, and if I draw any more ants or land grant, then they have not a target anymore. Okay, this is cool. I think I'm gonna cycle and transmute. And what if I... No, because if I use this one, he's gonna stutter me, and Snuff Out is not gonna work. So okay, I'm for sure gonna block the ninja now. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna let him draw a card. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine trading. If I snuff out this one and he counters and he's tapped out, on my next turn I think I'm gonna combo. So if he has another ninja or a counter spell, I'm gonna win. So I'm gonna snuff out the ninja now. And OP counters actually. Or even better, if he has another one of another ninja, he can ninja back the first one and basically counter my snuff out. But he doesn't. Yeah, I don't wanna be countered by a spell status sprite because it's obvious that he has one. So I'm gonna cast the Sago Wildling. Oh. Okay. Okay. One on the top and one on the bottom. What the heck is this card? Okay. So I think I'm gonna try to combo next turn. Yeah, I know I have another land in the deck, but if I go Spy and I and the land is in the bottom half of the deck, it should be little. So I'm gonna cast this one, try to destroy the Bone Splinter, and at the end of turn, tap him out and try to see what happens. Let's go. Okay. Now, with this creature on the board, it means that my combo costs 4 mana, because I have 3 creatures. And I can also early frost in my turn, if I have 6 mana. Okay. 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 I think I'm gonna go for it because this is good if I draw one of my land cyclers, because then I find my last land and kill him. It's good if I draw another Early Frost because we can try again next turn and there's no harm in that. And if nothing of these happens, then we can just try to combo with the Baluster Spy and hope that the land is in the bottom half of the deck. So I'm gonna go for it. Okay. I think I'm gonna try. Ha! So he has Counterspell and Spell Pierce. Alright, so I need to take the Counterspell. And I don't think I can let him ninja. So I think I should cast the Baluster Spy. And not try to combo, but just mill him. Okay. So I can attack. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he has one unknown, so I'm gonna use it and hope it's not a Special Sprite, and seems like it's not. Yeah, so we are gonna stall for a bit, and every creature we draw, it's a live one. Yeah. He need to ninja me, so I want to kill the one that scries, because he doesn't have a fairy miscreant, or else he would have drawn before the attack, I guess. Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna gain some life, because I don't need two of them. I just had one cut in the deck. And yeah, I think this is kinda cool. And I think we can attack now. Okay, that's what happens when Fae has not a ninja connecting every turn. Yeah. No point in keeping it in hand. So I think I'm gonna attack with just one, because if he has a snap, he's gonna... No, maybe I should have attacked with both. Yeah, I think this is a slight mistake. Yeah, okay. Okay, and it's probably gonna ninja me. No. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attack with the two Vandals. No, but... No, I'm gonna attack with Vandal and Sakura Tribelder, because if he has a snap, he's probably gonna snap my Masked Vandal to try and attack with the Hacker, and I would rather have the Masked Vandal back in hand, because on the way back it will destroy the hacker. So I think this is better. I know I have an ant that I'm going to cast right now, but let's suppose he has a counter spell for the ant and then a snap for the vandal. It's better like this. Okay, so let's go like this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. And I'm gonna attack like this again. Because imagine if he has a way to bounce the masked bundle, we can cast it back and destroy the binder monster, and it will be very, very good for us. Yeah, I'm gonna gain some life, and I'm actually winning the race right now. And that's what happens when you don't have 18 lands, but just creatures, because even if they are bad ones, better than lands, still better than lands. Okay? And now I'm gonna attack with 3 creatures. Okay, so if he doesn't have a ninja, it's again very good. Oh, the big one, that's tough. And okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attack with the Sakura Tribe Elders, and he's not gonna block. I'm gonna leave those back because I'm gonna double block the ninja if he tries to attack, and chomp with a vine. Yeah. Or maybe it's actually better to do like this. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Because we also have a Dutch Escape Zombie deck we can unearth. Okay, fine. And I don't think he's gonna attack with everything, because we are gonna kill him in with the swim back. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, so now we could use the food to gain some life, but if I draw the cat, I'm gonna deal 2 damage with the cat. 1 when it enters and 1 when I bring it back with the food. And that would be very good, since I can attack with 4 creatures and he can only block 3. So this is a blank right now. I don't think I have good attacks, except for maybe the Dredgescape Zombie, but that is gonna trade for the Fairy Miscreant, which I think stops any further ninja. I don't think I can attack anymore. Okay, this is a good news. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is cool, I guess. And this is actually better than Spy, because it cannot be blocked. So I'm gonna cast it and hope it resolves. Let's go. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, this is fine. And now I think I'm gonna gain 3 life because we are starting losing the race. Yeah, this is bad. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay. So let's gain 3 life. And I don't think I can attack. But I think I'm gonna use this one now. Because I'm fine trading. Yeah. No point in firing it off right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, now I think I'm gonna attack. Okay. Okay, this is fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay, takes 3. Oh yeah. And the reason why I'm casting this one is because if I draw an ant next turn, I can cast and protect it with the duress. Yeah, I'm gonna attack. Oh yes, but yes, the halder. Yeah, that was bad. Okay. So If I cast the Snuff Out, he's gonna spell stutter. I think we have to top deck a spy. Okay. And now we're gonna cast the Snuff Out, killing this one, so that if he stutters, he has not 4 spell status, 4 Fae, so that if I draw the spy, it's gonna resolve, and I does not. I do not. And I dies. Okay. Okay, so we are gonna try with Pestilence. And I'm gonna show you the sideboarding process. It's likely that if this card resolves, it can really win games against Fae. And let's find out if it's true. So we are gonna play those cards, the 6th land, because yeah, you know, we have to Arcast creature, we need blue cards. We need these ones to resolve the Pestilence and maybe the combo. And we also need Natural State because he is gonna bring in some Bind the Monsters and stuff like that. And we are gonna grind a bit. So if he goes for Unable to Scream and stuff like that, Natural State is just like 1 mana, free the Sagu Mauler again. And 12 cards. What are we gonna cut? Okay. Bubbles are cuttable because we are not going to combo that much, and so all the package can go out. And the same can be said for these 2 cards because they are not good under the Pestilence, and we don't aim at combo fast. And we are gonna keep the Vandals in because we wanna grind. We need 3 toughness to survive the Pestilence. And strange as it seems, we are gonna cut Duresses because we cannot Duress and Pestilence in the same turn. We cannot Duress and Pestilence for 2 in the same turn. It's very, very important to be mana efficient, and Duress, it's not well suited to do that. So let's try like this. And you may ask, why are you just boarding 2 natural states and on the 3rd one? Because remember, this is not a natural state, this is a rust. We are aiming at Paupergeddon, and this is not a natural state for all intent and purposes in this video. So this is a mulligan, of course. And this is a fine keep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 4 lands, and I'm gonna send this one back. Because I already have my spy or my Pestilence, and okay. Yeah, I'm gonna cycle this one because I am interested in casting the Sagu and using the Vandal. Wow. Okay, 4th spike me, please. Let me see the 4th spike. Do you know what's even worse than 4th spike, than being 4th spiked? It's that Magic Online asks you if you want to pay 1 mana. And when you say no, he asks again, do you want to pay 1 mana? I already said no, it's just brutal as it is, please. Yeah. To bottom, okay. Yeah. So we need lands, that's all we need. Okay. Yeah, this is a land, I guess. Okay. And we can kill the hacker because it's an enchantment. It's not relevant to what we exile with the Vandal, but if we leave the big creatures in the yard, maybe he plays around a reanimation spell that we don't have. No, actually we have one. We have the Dread Return. Oh yeah, I knew about this one, so sorry, my bad. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna cast it. Yeah, I need a lens. I'm not gonna attack. I'm gonna block this one because I'm not blocking with the Sakura type Elber because I wanna draw what I have on top of my deck. Okay, I take 3. I need 2 swamps right now. Okay. We can gain 3 life. Again, I'm not gonna attack because it's not relevant to do 1 damage. I don't wanna be attacked by a flashed Ambling Elder. Okay. Yeah. No ninja is fine. Okay, gain 3. Take my swamp, cast my pestilence. Let's see. Let's see what happens. The giant happens. Okay. Yeah, I have to untap. I feel that if I can untap, then okay. Yeah, I'm gonna block. I cannot pest for 2 or I lose my Pestilence, and I don't think it's a very good play because then I don't think I can win anymore. I'm gonna Pestilence for 1. So at that point, why not cast this one? I could cycle this one for the land, but I need the 3 life so bad, so I'm gonna keep it in hand for now. Okay, this is a very good news. And I don't think we need to Pestilence right now. It's very important to Pestilence in your turn if he has 2 power creatures, but because if you block with the Dimir House Guard, then you're gonna lose your guard from the Pestilence. But since he doesn't, then we can pass. I think we are in good shape now. We could sacrifice this creature to not let him untap, but I don't think it's a good play. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a good play. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna Pestilence for sure. And I don't think I'm gonna block. Yeah, this time I'm gonna Pestilence. No. Okay. It's very important to Pestilence before the blocks because he is gonna ninja. I think we have to cast this one because if he has a flash creature then we are dead. So let's go for it. Yeah, of course. Okay, so he doesn't have a flying creature, so maybe it's time to... Let's see. 2 spell starter sprites. One for spike. Yeah, I think we have to go for it. Okay, fine. And I think we are not safe enough to attack again yet. Okay, this is fine. So, one top, one bottom, it's fine. And now we're gonna start... Okay, I Pestilence for 1. Attack with this one, cast the Sakura Tribe Elder, so that... yeah. Yeah, now I attack. Okay. Okay, this is fine. We are gonna grab the last land because we need to Arcast this big creature. We are gonna Pestilence now. Okay. I think we are not gonna go for the troll now. I'm gonna go for the guard because I can protect it with this spell. But what if he counters my ant? He has just one card in hand. No. Let's go for the troll, for the ant, because we will never be able to protect it with this spell, so might as well do it right now. Okay, I don't think we attack this turn because we really need to survive. If we crack this food, then we're golden, so no need to risk it. Okay, I think we won. Oh, this is very cool because this means 3 life. 3 mana, 3 life. Good enough for Pauper, I guess. Yeah. I think I'm gonna cast this one with this spell up. I'm gonna attack with my guard and with my dragon. If we just attack with 1, he goes to 11. And next turn we can do 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's not dead next turn. But I don't think we need to rush things. Okay. Let's gain some life. Let's eat some food. I'm gonna attack with everything. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I think I'm gonna Pestilence for 1. Okay. Now I'm gonna gain some life. And let's go. Okay, this one is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna Pestilence. And I'm gonna kill you. Fine. All right. So, in theory, we could swap the Elven Farsight with 3 duress, with duress. But as we saw in this game, he is gonna go after our lands, and we need a way to find lands. So I think it's not advisable to do that. So let's submit and try again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this one. Okay. One top, one bottom. Okay. Maybe we could grab the swamp. Next turn, grab the swamp and cycle. Yeah, I think we are supposed to do that. Let's go. Okay, so we go to 19. He's gonna ninja us. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this could have been very good if we... yeah, I'm gonna go for the plant, I guess. I'm gonna grab the swamp. And next turn I'm gonna cycle the Generous Ant and cast the Masked Vandal. Next turn I'm gonna go with Pestilence and start slamming Pestilence until the end of the days. Yeah, he has not a second land drop, so I'm gonna block. Ooh, he baited me. Cool, nice, I love it. But I can slam this Masked Vandal, which not only kills the ninja, but also is a very big creature when you have a Pestilence out. Okay, this is the spot where Duress would have been maybe fine. I don't know, because I'm gonna cycle anyway. Okay, gonna take it. If he ninjas, I'm gonna resolve the Pestilence, I guess, which is cool. Okay. Okay. We knew about that. And what if we go for the spy? What if we go for the spy? So he goes one top, one bottom, and then one top, one bottom. So basically he found a good card and he kept on top 2 times, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna go for this one. Okay, so if we go for the Pestilence, we are soft to Spell Pierce and Force Spike. If we go for the Sakura Tribe Elder and the Gate Creeper Vine, then next turn we start slamming stuff, but then since he has 4 fairies, it's tough. I think he has a 1-mana counter. No way he goes for 2 fairies here, knowing we play Pestilence. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, of course. Of course, so this was the better play. Problem is, now is stutters counters for 4. Oh, maybe I should have attacked. Well. Okay. Yeah, I guess if he has stutter, if he has stutter, yes, it. But if he has counterspell, maybe it's a counterspell. That seems like a counterspell, and that seems like a dispel. Okay, and now we are in a very good shape, I think. I'm not sure if I'm gonna attack. Yeah, no point in not attacking. Yeah, okay, so let's attack. And barring something very, very strange, I think we are very much winning this game. No ninja? Okay, perfect. I think we are... Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. It's basically 1 mana cycle, a snap. Love it. I think I can Pestilence in his turn. That way he cannot go flash a creature end of turn. And I guess I'm gonna cast my Dimir Houseguard, because I just need to Pestilence for 1. No way I need to Pestilence for 2 because I have blockers. And this way he cannot stutter, because if he does, then the Pestilence will clear the Fae. And now I don't need to Pestilence. Okay, and I'm gonna Pestilence before the blocks happens, because he cannot ninja that way. Okay, fine, I think we won. We won. Whew, nice. Yeah, let's cast this one. No point in keeping it in hand. Okay, so the giant basically does nothing. Farsight is... yeah. And this one, I think it's... yeah, you know what? 6 life. Yeah, I want to gain some life. No, I don't want to reveal. And I'm gonna attack. I could combo, but no point in dying to a counterspell when we are winning on the board. Yes, we're gonna attack with both, I think. And I'm also gonna cast my Balustrade Spy. Okay. Okay, I think we have this one locked up. Let's gain some life. Remember, he cannot use Spell Status Sprite because of the Pestilence. He tries, but it will not work because of the Pestilence. Attack with everything. Yeah, let's do that right now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's attack. No point in playing another Pestilence, because if the first one dies, the second one does too. No point in playing this one, because if we Pestilence for 2, then all the plants will die. Okay, so this one will die, fine. It just has Cry 2, which is fine because he needs answers and he needs them in a short period of time. I'm gonna Pestilence end of turn because so that I have mana untapped on my turn. Yeah, and I'm gonna cast the Dimir Houseguard, of course. Okay, it's fine with me. Attack. And now maybe we should consider start Pestilencing at the end of turn for 1, just because we are winning the race. I don't think I will do that right now, but the next turn will probably be the one where I start to do that. Okay. Okay, and yeah, fine. I'm not gonna Pestilence for 2. Because if I do that and he snaps my Masked Vandal, then the Pestilence dies. I don't want to do that. Okay, fine. Well, you see, it seems like Advent Farsight has been better than Duress this game, so I'm glad I kept Advent Farsight over Duress. It seems like a fine choice. So I'm gonna draw the Masked Vandal and then the Sagum Wildling and then the Vandal. So on top, on top, on top. Yes, I reveal. I cast this one before the combat because I can destroy the Enable to Scream. Okay. Now I'm gonna attack for 3. And if he blocks, I'm gonna Pestilence for 1 to clear the board, his side of the board. Yeah, and he's dead because I'm gonna Pestilence for 2 in his turn and for 2. Oh yeah, I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna Pestilence for 1. Okay. I'm gonna Pestilence for 1. And he dies to the Pestilence. Fine. The Pestilence carried us.
Okay, after all of this gameplay, I think that the matchup is bad for spy combo, but not impossible. A lot of the match I won for the force spike. That is very, very impressive versus all of these tech strategies and angle of attack and defense. But I don't expect a lot of force spike in the future because I think that the main configuration of Mono Blue is some mix of Dispel and Spell Pierce in the soft counter slot. But we tested the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
My conclusion is that you can hope to dodge Fairy, or if you have 3 extra slots on your sideboard that are free, you can put 3 Pestilence against this matchup, and you can hope to realistically steal some game post side, especially versus the non-no for spike versions. And the MVP also is Masked Vandal, because I try to cover Mono Blue Fairy's weakness with the enchantment type of soft removal, such as Unable to Scream and Bind the Monster. But the Masked Vandal is a nightmare because you remove this enchantment, occasionally it removes Moon Circuit Hacker, that is a creature enchantment, and above all is a 1/3 blocker that stops my race with Ninja, and is a good stats that remain on your board if you succeed in resolving a Pestilence. So I think that the matchup is quite bad, but not impossible, and I'm positively impressed by this archetype.
Yeah, so I think the next step going forward is trying to find out if it makes sense to edge versus Fae, because as I said at the start of the video, we lose some percentages points versus the field if we wanna dedicate some slots versus Fae. Is it worth it? Yeah, I don't know. We have to investigate this topic. So that's what we will do in the next video. Thank you, Pietro, for being our guest. And again, You are a very good player, so it was very nice to play versus you.
I want to say that it was a pleasure to record the matchup against my dear friend Giorgio.
Thank you.
And I wanted to say goodbye to all of the viewers and remember you just one little thing. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Bye.
So, as always, don't subscribe to the channel, don't like the video for any reason. If you liked the video, tell everyone. If you didn't like the video, I don't give a shit.